Thank you so much. Thank you, Mayor Wu, for gathering us here today. Thank you for your leadership in spearheading this movement to deal with this emergency. Thank you to the Greater Boston Foundation, to the Greater Boston Food Bank, to the YMCA of Greater Boston. Thank you to everyone who is here, who is responding to this crisis. Tomorrow is November 1st. That is the day when SNAP benefits stop being added to the EBT cards for more than 41 million Americans, including 1.1 million people in the state of Massachusetts. We're a population of 7 million people, 1.1 million of them. Tomorrow will begin to be harmed in terms of their ability to provide for their families. And it is because the Republicans refuse to act. I am angry that the Republican House members continue to be on vacation for the last 5 weeks and not come back to Washington to solve this problem. I am angry that Donald Trump and his administration refuse to spend the $5.5 billion in emergency funding, which Congress set aside for emergencies like this. I am angry on behalf of all of the people in our state who are about to suffer because of the avoidable crisis being created by Donald Trump in order to cut health care, to cut food programs, to cut Head Start, to cut all of these programs that work for the poorest and the working families in our country. The ancient Greek philosopher once asked, when would we know true justice? And his answer was, we will know true justice when those who have not been harmed are as angry as those who have been harmed. And we are angry today because those who are most vulnerable are the ones who are going to be harmed. This program was created because farmers wanted subsidies for soybeans and corn for their farms. And we said from the cities, if you're going to subsidize the growing of food, we want to subsidize the poorest in our country who need to eat that food to survive. That's where this program comes from. And that is what is being violated today. That agreement that those who are most needy will have access to this food which is being grown. We are the richest nation in the world. We do not have a food shortage in the United States of America right now. We have a food distribution problem to ensure that those who are most in need will receive it. The federal district court judge here in Boston conducted a hearing, and her preliminary conclusion was that it's illegal what Donald Trump is doing, that he has a responsibility to distribute the $5.5 billion. To make sure that all of these great food banks, nonprofits are able to have the help they need in order to take care of the citizens here in our country. Some of those families are already having to ration what's left on their cards because they fear nothing is coming tomorrow. It is the same day that they have to pay their rent, November 1st. Maybe the same day they have to pay their electricity bill or refill grandma's prescription. November 1st, November 1st, November 1st. This is an emergency that is about to hit them. In the richest country in the world, when CEOs get $1 trillion in tax breaks, Trump and his MAGA buddies in Washington are allowed babies to go hungry. That's what's going to happen. Millionaires keep their tax breaks and babies go hungry in our country. He just found $40 billion under the seat cushions to bail out Argentina. But he won't use the money. The federal government already has set aside for SNAP to feed struggling families. It is a national disgrace. In Massachusetts and across this country, beginning tomorrow, families are going to struggle to put food on their tables. In Boston, that's 1 in 5, as the mayor said, 140,000 people out of 700,000 people tomorrow in Boston will begin to struggle to put food on their tables. 1 in 3 SNAP recipients in Massachusetts is a child. 1 child left hungry is unacceptable. We are going to have, across our state, 352,000 children who will not have food on their table. That is immoral. That begins tomorrow. And it's not just in Boston, it's Springfield, Holyoke, Florence. Nearly half of all residents in those communities rely upon SNAP. Half. And my office has received calls from residents worried sick about benefits expiring, and that includes a woman in Sterling with a disability who told us, "I'm grateful for everything that I have, but I'm terrified of what's going to happen to my ability to eat." Another call came from a constituent in Arlington whose daughter with a disability is only able to make ends meet with SNAP. And there's no reason why a baby should have to cry because that baby does not have access to the food which he or she needs. There's no reason a mother or father should have to experience the heartbreak of watching their daughter or son struggle to focus on the need to put a hot meal on the table. SNAP has kept more than 3 million people out of poverty in the United States just in 2021, with more than 2/3 of those people from communities of color. This disproportionately affects Black and brown people in our state, in Boston, and across our country. Disproportionately, 2/3 of those who benefit come from the Black and brown community. And the value of a SNAP benefit, $6 a day. That's all we are talking about. That is Donald Trump's America today. Trillions in tax breaks for billionaires are not $6 for someone to be able to buy enough food to make it through a day. So this moment isn't just an economic failure. It isn't just a civic failure. This is a moral failure of the Trump administration and the MAGA Republicans who refuse to come back to Washington. Right now, they are in a political witness protection program, hiding around America, refusing to come to Washington so that we can solve this problem of hunger that is about to hit 42 million Americans. The president could choose to end this crisis, so I'm calling on President Trump to release these funds, release them immediately. He has $5.5 billion that has been set aside for this very purpose, in emergency, in hunger in our country. You can do it right now. And I urge my Republican colleagues, return to Washington. Stop running from your responsibilities to fund not just SNAP, but health care and Head Start and all the other poverty programs that are about to have drastic cuts to them that disproportionately impact the poorest in our society. So this is a manufactured crisis Trump created, and he can solve it. Otherwise, it is his responsibility. It is Donald Trump's responsibility for the harm that is going to be done. And we have to raise our voices on behalf of those who are going to be harmed. And that's what Mayor Wu is doing. That's what everyone here is doing to make sure they get the protection which they need. Now, let me turn to introduce City Council President Lucy Lubijal.